Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different. We usually talk about, broad market trends, but today I want to focus on a single physical object.
Well, object might be underselling it a bit.
You're right, it's an address, 2 Admirals Way in San Antonio, Texas. And looking at the specs for this place, it feels less like a house and more like a private compound.
It really does. When you get into these numbers, specifically the square footage and the acreage, you leave the realm of residential and you enter institutional management.
Institutional management, that's a great way to put it. So here's the mission for this deep dive. We're going to deconstruct this listing. It's priced at $4.7 million. It's in the Dominion. But I want to understand the person who buys this. What is the psychology of needing almost 12,000 square feet?
That is the right question. Because at this price point, you are not paying for shelter.
No.
You're paying for position.
Yeah.
You're paying for privacy. And frankly, you are paying for a very specific type of dominance over your environment.
Dominance is a strong word.
It is, but I think it fits. Let's just run through the overview stats to ground everyone in the sheer scale we're dealing with.
Let's do it. Price tag, $4.7 million. Size, 11,932 square feet.
So let's just pause on that number. Nearly 12,000 square feet. Do you have a sense of how big that actually is?
That's huge.
An NBA basketball court is about 4,700 square feet.
Wow.
So you could fit 2.5 professional basketball courts inside this house.
Okay, that's a perspective I did not have. That is absolutely cavernous.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And just managing the climate, the acoustics, the flow in a space that large is a completely different challenge than a normal luxury home.
So 2.5 basketball courts of space. We've got 7 bedrooms, 8.5 bathrooms, and it's sitting on 1.99 acres, basically 2 acres.
And those 2 acres are arguably the unicorn metric here. But before we get to the land, we have to talk about where it is.
Right, the Dominion.
Because the dirt always matters more than the bricks.
And reading the source material, the Dominion is positioned as the absolute benchmark for San Antonio luxury. It's that one neighborhood that's shorthand for, I've arrived.
Exactly. You have other up-and-coming areas, sure, but the Dominion is the established power center. It's a master-planned community, over 1,500 acres. It's its own ecosystem.
And that ecosystem is, let's call it fortified. The first thing that comes up in every report is the fact that it's guard-gated.
And we need to be clear, this isn't a keypad and a swinging metal arm.
No. The documents mention G4S Secure Solutions,
Which is a massive global security firm. They do embassy security. This is not a friendly guy in a booth waving at cars.
It's a paramilitary grade.
It is. You have 2 24-hour staffed gates, mobile patrols driving the streets around the clock, and they use a visitor management system called Safe House.
I looked into that. It creates a lot of friction. If I want a pizza delivered or a friend to come over, I have to pre-authorize them. That sounds like a hassle.
To you, it's a hassle. To a high net worth individual, that friction is the product. They are buying the inconvenience for everyone else. They want it to be difficult to get to their front door. The fact that every single contractor and guest has to be vetted creates a secure perimeter.
So the privacy and anonymity are the real luxury assets.
It's the ultimate luxury. It lets you create that zone of safety where you can finally let your guard down.
Okay, so let's drive through that gate and up to the property itself. The profile calls it a hilltop estate.
And that connects right back to that idea of dominance we started with.
How so?
Topography is power. The castle always goes on the hill.
Right.
You can see threats coming, and everyone else has to literally look up at you. It creates a physical and psychological separation from the world below.
The house itself has a, quote, French architectural influence. Stucco exterior, tile roof.
Which is smart for the Texas climate. But aesthetically, it conveys a sense of permanence. It doesn't look trendy. It looks like it's been there for a century, even though it was built in 2000.
Let's walk inside. We talked about the 12,000 square feet. But I have to wonder, does a house that big feel cold? Does it echo?
That's the primary design challenge. You're basically curating air and light. With high ceilings and marble floors, if you don't furnish it correctly, yes, it can feel like a museum.
So how do you avoid that?
The layout becomes critical. You have to create human-scaled zones within that massive institutional shell.
Let's talk about those zones. The bedroom count. 7.
7 bedrooms.
Who needs 7 bedrooms? Unless you're running a boutique hotel.
You're thinking like a nuclear family. This house isn't built for a nuclear family. It's built for a dynasty.
A dynasty.
Think about it. You have the owners. You might have aging parents who move in. That's the multi-generational component. You have adult children visiting with their own families. And critically,
Live-in staff.
exactly. A property of this scale likely requires a housekeeper, maybe a nanny, a personal assistant. Some of those bedrooms are for staff quarters or long-term guests.
It's like a small ship. You have the officers' quarters and the crew quarters.
A perfect analogy. And speaking of the officers' quarters, look at the primary suite. The bedroom alone is 37 feet by 23 feet.
37 by 23. That is larger than my first 2 apartments combined.
It's enormous. You have to have a sitting area, maybe a small office space, just to make the room feel occupied.
And it's on the main level.
Which is crucial for aging in place. Plus, it provides privacy, separating the owners from kids or guests upstairs.
The primary bath is 26 by 16. That's the size of a normal living room.
It's a private spa. It's about the luxury of never having to compromise on personal space.
But what struck me is that the secondary rooms aren't an afterthought. One of them is 22 by 20 feet.
Larger than most master bedrooms in a standard $1 million home.
Right. So nobody gets the bad room. If your in-laws move in, they get a suite. It maintains dignity for everyone under that roof.
Precisely.
Moving to the common areas, the listing says 3 living areas, and the formal living room is 32 feet by 29 feet.
That's ballroom scale.
You could literally host a wedding reception in there.
And that's the point. This house is a venue. You have the formal room for a charity cocktail hour. You have the family room, still huge at 24 by 24 for a Super Bowl party. And then you have the dedicated media room.
Which is non-negotiable at this price point.
It is. A high-profile owner can't just go to the local cinema. You bring the cinema experience home.
And the kitchen? 23 by 18 feet, island, walk-in pantry.
When I see a kitchen that size, I don't see a place for making pancakes on a Sunday morning. I mean, you can. But what I really see is a catering facility.
Back-of-house operations.
Exactly. It's designed so a full catering team can come in, prep a dinner for 50, and execute service without ever disrupting the guests.
Let's step outside. The 1.99 acres, this is what I can't get over. Usually you get a big lot or you get a secure gated community. You trade one for the other.
That is the classic trade-off. Security normally equals density.
But here you get both.
Here, you have broken that rule. You get nearly 2 acres inside the fortress. That is exceptionally rare. It's the privacy of the country with the security of an embassy.
And with that much space, you're not just having a barbecue.
No, you live a resort life. You have the pool, the spa, the outdoor entertaining areas. And because of that land buffer, you can host those executive gatherings or philanthropic events in complete privacy.
It's a social tool, an asset you use to network and entertain.
100%. And that brings us to the social ecosystem of the Dominion itself.
Right, because the HOA is separate from the Dominion Country Club.
Correct. Buying the house does not get you a golf membership. That's separate. But the club anchors the social life of the entire community. The HOA sponsors things like a fall festival, 4th of July fireworks.
So you get that curated small-town America feel.
But it's an experience exclusively for the residents. It's community by design.
All right, let's talk money. We're at $4.7 million.
Which comes out to about $394 a square foot.
Is that good in this luxury sector?
In my opinion, it's an aggressively competitive price. Think about replacement cost.
What it would cost to build it from scratch today.
Exactly. If you bought a raw 2-acre lot on a hilltop in the Dominion and tried to build this exact 12,000 square foot home today with current labor and material costs, you're looking at $500, maybe $600 a foot. Minimum.
So building it new would cost $6 or $7 million.
Easily. So at under $400 a foot, you're buying the finished product at a significant discount to new construction.
But then there are the carrying costs. The property taxes are, well, they're significant.
Around $65,000 a year, that's a new luxury car every single year, just in taxes.
But the HOA fee shocked me. $220 a month.
Seems low, doesn't it?
I've seen condos with higher fees that don't come with armed guards.
That's the power of scale.
Yeah.
You're spreading the cost of that military-grade security across hundreds of high-value homes. It's a bulk discount on safety. To hire that privately would cost tens of thousands a month.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. Okay, so we've toured the fortress, we've analyzed the numbers. It all sounds incredible. There has to be a catch.
It's not a catch so much as a reality check.
Okay.
We touched on it at the beginning. Institutional scale. When you buy 2 Admirals Way, you're crossing a threshold. You are no longer just a homeowner.
You're a facility manager.
You are the CEO of your own private hospitality operation. Think about it. 12,000 square feet of flooring, multiple commercial-grade HVAC systems, a pool, 2 acres of landscaping.
You can't just fix a leaky faucet yourself on a Saturday.
Yeah. You need a team. You need a Rolodex of trusted vendors.
Yeah.
This house is a living entity that consumes resources and requires constant management.
So the real question the buyer has to answer isn't, can I afford it?
No. The question is the lifestyle elevation worth the operational complexity? You are buying a legacy, but you're also taking on a significant liability that demands stewardship.
If you don't manage the house will manage you.
Precisely. It demands your attention.
Well, that is a heavy thought to end on. It's not just about having the money to buy it. It's having the bandwidth to run it.
That is the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Wealth is about managing infrastructure, and this house is infrastructure.
From the hilltop views to the strategic friction of the front gate, 2 Admirals Way is certainly a powerful statement. Thanks for helping us decode it today.
It was my pleasure.
And to you listening, thanks for taking the tour with us. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.